back to Griffin, Indiana. I promised that we would give the John Deere grass cutter a bit of a once over before we put it away for the winter. So that's just what we're doing this morning. Kevin's up and at 'em. It's a good way just to think through the day's tasks. So that's that job done. But we might just put that over beside the workshop and get that completely out of the way for the moment. The end of the last episode, Kevin continued on, finished picking up the grass that we'd cut over the road in the meadow, and then went ahead and spread the rest of the lime. In doing that, he had a little bit of lime left over, so he decided to put that on the twilight field. So if we have a look at our fields before we do anything, we'll see that they're all in really good shape now from a pH standpoint. So that's terrific. We won't see twilight until we put the corn in next March or April. But today's main job is to get the grass in the section that we've got to define up the top there, and then to put the wheat. I think it's going to be barley. Sorry, it'll be barley. We'll be planting in the bottom section. So we'll get to that in just a minute. Before we do that, though, there's a load of silage to deliver down to Larson's, and then you might notice there's a contract that he's picked up. So there was a fairly sizable $20,000+ plowing contract on offer, so he's grabbed that and taken the equipment. So we'll go down and hopefully get that underway quickly, and then come back and sort out our seeding. Our new little seed factory has been busily churning away and producing seed, so we've got more than enough now to handle all of our seeding requirements through the rest of the season, which is great. And if an opportunity arises to sell, we'll be able to sell some. Also topped up the water for all the animals and put some water in the factory, and so it's been making solid fertiliser as well, which of course we're going to need for when the crop germinates. So all in all, things are getting organised quite nicely. In the end, we ended up with a lot of silage, a lot of grass off that field, a lot more than he estimated. And so as a consequence, we're going to end up with quite a handy amount of silage. So we can just have a look while this is unloading at our production situation. So you can see here, we're down to about 65,000 litres of silage, but we've got over 250,000 litres of grass to process. So that'll give us another 200,000 litres of silage in there over time, which is good. We're just about ready. We can probably stop producing solid fertilizer because we won't be needing quite that much, I wouldn't have thought, and we may end up being able to sell some of that, which will be quite good. And seeds, as you can see, up over 13,000 litres of seed. So that's all setting us up quite nicely. So we'll just duck across to the store, the dealership, and have a look at this equipment that comes with the contract for Field 3. Field 3 is over the other side of the town area there. Fairly close to the store here though, so it's not too much of a problem. So this contract came with some big kit. It's quite a large field, and whilst Kevin's not a huge fan of this plough, he figures he's hiring a worker to do the lion's share, and the tractor should sort of mask some of it. Also, the field is quite a bit longer than it is wide, so that should mean, relatively speaking, less overall turns, which every time you don't have to turn this plough is a bonus. So we'll see how we go. We'll just have a quick look at that while we're here. So contract is on Field 3 and pays 24,000, and we've paid a couple of thousand to borrow the equipment. There are still a corn and a sugar beet contract, and then of course this selection of baling contracts, which we might do if we really get stuck for activities and run out, but at the moment there's still plenty to do on the farm. So that's where we're at. Let's get down and get this contract underway. Here's Field 3 right in front of us. We might what we might do here, let's see what sort of course play gives us. Down the bottom of the map here. So we'll go with those. Work width is, I think it's wider than that. We might adjust once we get going. Let's just check. What have we got here? This is a Lemken Titan 18. Maybe it's not much. So the Lemken Titan is 4.4 tons, 4.9 meters. What did I have in the course play setup? So we think it's 4.9. We're going to go with 2 headlands, and we'll start in the center, I think. Smooth corners will probably make life a little bit easier. Let's generate the course. Now why is it? Let's try aligning with the longest edge, see if we can get that a little bit straighter. That's much better. Okay, and where are you? Of course, you're going to start at the other end. So let's run up there. Where's that starting point disappeared to? Why can I not see that? One is down here. What's it doing? It's interpreted the whole of the bottom as the field just to make life difficult. So let us So this sometimes happens when, like here, the fields are set a little bit close together, and the only way to deal with it is to jump out here and define a custom field, which thankfully it's square. So if we mark the corners, square-ish, let's say. Just zoom in so we actually get using right click to select the corners of the field. That should allow us to create a custom field, and we'll leave it as that name. And so now when we get back into our tractor and go to create a job, we can, field position is here. And so now you can see we've selected the correct field. Now if we go into the course generator and generate the course, we get only the field that we want. And where the start position looks like it's gone over to this corner, we're moving it all over the field. So that's okay. We can get over there. So just a little bit of fiddling around to get things set up the way that we need them. See how you go there. Back up. So you want to start at the first waypoint. Hopefully that'll be close enough. There you go. So we'll let you trundle away there. Let's head back to the store. Just pop in while we're here. Never hurts to, we don't need to buy anything, but what's on sale? Ooh, 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 ooh. That's the first thing that leaps out is a small tractor, and whilst it wouldn't necessarily be my first choice at 20,000 for 70 horsepower, that would be a real helpful addition around the yard and for odd little carting chores. It does have a 3-point front and back. We wouldn't need to change any of the setup, I wouldn't have thought. So I think we would be crazy not to buy that. So we will. And the other thing that might be handy, because I reckon it'd probably tow it, is to upgrade the trailer we're using here. Now we don't have enough cash at the minute, but if we head back to the farm and do a couple of more loads of silage, and of course if we finish that ploughing contract, if that trailer's still there at the end of the day, I think we might pick that up. So that's been a nice little early Christmas present for Kevin. Cute little trailer. We will have to put a charge station in. Looks like it needs a little maintenance as well, but that's okay. Let's head back out to the farm and we can get our seeding underway, and we might actually try the the new electric out on deliveries down here to Larson's of silage. Let's hire ourselves a helper and see how that goes. It'll give us a good gauge on trailer size too. So things coming together nicely at the moment. It's not too slow back there. We can just pull in here. And we'll pull up just here, will be fine. Where's our tractor got to? Is it forgotten where we are? I might have outrun our little follower. I did not outrun the follower. It was just left a little bit behind. So we'll take the worker off, bring you forward. Let's see how you go here. I might put a weight on the front actually. I've got one over here. Might be a little large, but might just help with the towing, I think. Now, if we have the auto drive creators course on here, which I've made a few little amendments to, and we should be able to, what are we trying to do here? We want a pick up and deliver. We want to pick up at the farm silo load point. We want to deliver to the animal dealer, not the buy points, we want sell points, animal dealer sell point, and we want it to be silage. That should be good. Those speeds are fine. We might just check corner speed, just drop you down to 75. Let's see how you go here. We know there's 3 loads of silage for this trailer. There we go, he fills up and off he goes. So we'll let our worker work their way through that. Looks like we've got a issue down on our, and you've ended up all the way down there. Not quite sure why you came through. Let's just go to settings and get you. You should only be on the field. Raise tools early, lower tools late. Is often a good idea. So, turn you off. And that hopefully will give him or her more chance of actually completing the turn on the field. I suspect I haven't set enough headlands actually for this nearest waypoint. We'll see how we go. Might need to come back and redefine the course with more headlands. So our worker is heading down to sell silage. We know that that should happen shortly. Let's grab our seeder. And head over and define our field. A little bit more grass in here. That's seed in here, I should say. Tricky thing here might be I don't really want fertilizer. Fertilize afterwards. Seed. Good. So refill. Are you not in the trigger? Is that just going to be difficult? Oh. There we go. Seed is full. And we want to be planting. Really doesn't matter. We want to get the barley in's the priority. So let's do the barley first. Need to know. Barley is that one. You can just squeak through the gate here. And I think we can just squeak. No, we're not going to get through that one. Unless we take out another fence section. Now we could draw the field on here the way we did just before. But I think what we'll do this time is use our tractor to mark it. The easiest way to do that is just take the implement off. Assume you've got a center line through your tractor. That's where the boundary is going to be. And if we're in the axion with no course, if we turn on record, and now we're going to plot a course round the edge of the field that we want to use. So the thing is just to try and cover the line that you want to make sure is your field edge. Slow down in the corners, of course, so you don't overshoot and make a mess. But it really is as simple as just driving around the edge of your field. You can edit these waypoints later if you haven't seen that done before. I'll show you just at the end when Kevin finishes mapping it out. We'll just sort of go outside where we limed, it doesn't matter. Keep off our track there. The smoother the corner we make, the easier it'll be for the tools. You can see I've popped a bit of a track across to the pond. It'll look much better once we get a field in here, I hope. Round we go. We haven't had our little ridgy track arrive at the sell point yet, which is kind of interesting. Would have expected him or her to be pretty close. Might have to investigate that once we set the seeder on its path. But as you can see, even with an extremely irregular field shape, that's quite an easy way to get your boundary sorted. Stay a little bit away from that tree. I probably should pull it out, to be honest. And so if I now get out of the tractor, I should be able to look at that field. Why can I not see it? I've got to turn it off, don't I? Don't tell me I just threw it away. No, I've just got to stop recording. There we go. So now I can save it as CP2. So now if I get out of the tractor and go in, we can see CP2 here. We don't want the grass meadow anymore. So if I go into the correct mode and select the grass meadow, I can delete that one. Delete the grass meadow. Now CP2, this is going to be barley, which we can rename. Barley field, very imaginative name. Tells us it's 15 acres. So now when we get back in, we can duck back to our seeder. Get you started. So you're going to need a job for this field. Target you there. The course generator, 5.3 meters. Let's do 3 headlands on this. We want to start on the center. Smooth corners will be fine. Generate field work. What does it come up with? If we're going to go in that direction, would we be better off with 4 headlands? Let's find out. And start you. You should drive up there all right. Let's go find out. Oh, here he comes. No, that's not. Where's our ridgy track gone? It's got stuck in town. This guy's stuck as well. We'll fix you up while we're here. I think the fastest way to fix this is it's quite clear that the course is not right. So come down here, create job. That's the course. Open the course generator. Let's put 4 headlands on you. Now, which way are you running? Which way? I need to turn these on. It is running back the opposite way. So the result of the 4th headland was to cause it to come back across the field the opposite way to what we've started. So what we can do here is just go back and start it at the first waypoint. Go around there, straighten up. Let's make sure you're also aligned properly. You look like you are. Okay. What have you done there? Thinking you just turned a whisker too fast. Might just... That's the cornering speed. Corner speed, just bring you down to 60. See if that helps. You might wonder why it's coming this route. It's because the auto drive course tries to make use of the main roads, and the one up the other side is mostly single direction. Comes out to make the corn, that's a bit better. Now seeding looks like it's progressing okay. And at a good speed. Let's just jump out. So we're going to need to weed it next month when the weeds pop through, or get a spray. We'll just have to see how we go, but that's working fine. We know we need fertilizer, so we can take care of that shortly. Yeah, Rigitrack's made it to Larson's okay. We picked up some good income there. What are these cows up to? Straw is good, slurry is good, and food is good. Now, if we have a look at, while we're looking at livestock, our first paddock of cows are coming along nicely now that we've got the food back up to them. They need a little more hay, which we'll deal with once we've finished the silage deliveries. But you can see that the oldest cows we got have kicked over the 3,000 a head mark, which is kind of handy. And in another 3 or 4 months, we'll have we'll reproduce, so they'll replace themselves, and then we'll be looking to sell those because that'll be up near their top price. So that'll be our first sort of turnover, and the others are now coming along quite nicely. And when we get a little bit more cash in the bank, we definitely want to buy some more calves to put in our other pasture, which has plenty of feed. Could always do with some more hay, but it's also full of water. So that's all good. Now, what we will do is let's check our map again and see if we can figure out where there he is. So there's our little electric coming along. So it's navigating its way home a little more successfully than it did before. The Axion's making good progress through the seeding, and we seem to be doing a little bit better now with the ploughing. So all jobs working a little bit more in our favour. Now let's have a look at product to sell using our stock summary that shows us all our holdings. So we've got a heap of wheat, which is getting up towards its best price. So we might want to think about selling our wheat shortly. Similarly, our oats have still got a little bit of a way to go. We hardly have any corn, so we won't worry too much about that. Seed, there's nowhere really to sell it for a sensible price. We've looked at that before. The silage, where we are selling down because that's how we're meeting our operating costs. Hay we're using to feed the beef cattle, so we don't plan on selling any of those. That straw we do, and straw is getting quite close to its best price. Let's just have a look at the breakdown of straw. The Larson's is the only place, and in the next month is really going to be the time. So we might do a load of that if we've got time. So we can see our ridgy track piling through there. It's looking to me like it didn't slow down much for the corner, and what's happening is the weight in the trailer is kicking the rear axle around. Yeah, so there's only one more load of silage left in there. Let him go. So what we might do then is duck down to Larson's. While we've got some cash, as much as I'd like that trailer, I would also like to get a couple of loads of calves in the other paddock. So I think it's important that we're stocking our livestock every month for the next little while. So let's go and do that. A dozen or so cows shouldn't make too much of a material negative difference. So let's take care of that. Looks like our barley seeder is out of seed. So the other thing that it would be kind of handy to get is a seed tender for that. Hopefully we can get in and out of Larson's before the Digitrack gets here. Digitrack. We're going to need to be snappy because it's right on our tail. So we want some Angus, we want Fix, yes. And there we go. Not too much hassle. And that slowing the speed down appears to have helped the electric tractor navigate a bit more successfully. So I think we do 2 trailer loads of these. That'll be a good boost. We duck in here. We probably need to be putting a track round up this side of the field as well, I suspect. I think we'll be able to get through onto our proposed spot. Would make some sense to have a track up there. And we want to select and move to husbandry. And there we go. More cows in. Now let's go and take our seeder back and put some more seed in. Pretty sure we won't get out that gate. Oh, you're not out of seed. You're just out of fertilizer. Because you had a little bit of fertilizer in you. Okay. That's not a problem. What we need to do is go into here for the tool and tell it not to use the fertilizer. I should have turned that off before. So now when I turn back on, you don't need to be refilled. You've got plenty of barley. There we go. Right. We can go back down to Larson's and get one more load of cows. And then check back in. Six more Angus calves. Buy those. So not a terrible proposition once you get the sequencing sorted out. You know, once you've got the infrastructure of the pastures in place, you're buying calves for 300 and you're selling them for 3,500, and the only real operating cost for them is a little bit of water and hay. So just a matter of tuning that machine so that it's making you money, and the first returns take a couple of years to start flowing. So not an enormous money maker, but it's got the potential once you gear it up to fund things nicely. And Kevin's quite keen on being seen by the local community as a bit of a rancher wheeler dealer. He remembers enough of Dallas from his childhood to see himself as a bit of a J.R. Ewing type. Yeah, are we gonna go the long way again? I think we will. Because I think it's easier to drive in this way and get out the other way. Move you to husbandry. Okay. Let's just check everything as we expect. 24 animals in here with plenty of food and water. Good-o. You got about half the barley in, almost. And won't go through the seed quite as much as I was concerned that he would. I'll go around and tow this trailer through. Been hoping a larger trailer and even potentially a truck would come up in the sales so that we could upgrade our ability to move animals around. But so far, haven't cracked it. So those headlands look like they've made a big difference. Don't know why we missed that stripe there. But we did. We're about a third of the way through the field, so this will continue into the next month, I think. which is not a problem. We don't need this job finished today. It was just one that was too good to pass up. And a good opportunity to have a run with a different tractor, and one that we probably won't have in our fleet in the foreseeable future. But we need to get back. I think we need more SiiD. Stop this guy here. So you can finish there for the minute. We do indeed need more SiiD, so we'll run back and sort that out. I think we'll definitely put a SiiD tender on the list of implements for next year. We get that, that's the wrong way. Pulls it in. Let's pulls the other one in. There we go. Makes it just a little bit narrower, gives us more chance of not getting hooked up. This unit allows you to trail 2 other similar size units, which we could upgrade to at some point when we've got larger fields. They just need big spaces to turn is the only thing. Those arms allow you to add extra units. Let's see if we can get you with some more SiiD. Line you up. That's about it. Got it first time. Nearest waypoint, and back we go. What are you doing? Ah. So that's the headland, isn't it? That's what you're doing. Don't mind me. So that's where that is up to. Now, the last thing to look at, and seeing as we picked up that digitrack, it's really the problem. We need 22,000, which we're not quite going to get to until we sell something. But looking at our equipment that's on lease, given we've had the fertilizer spreader, we'll keep it for just the next month until the crop comes up. But then I think we'll be returning that. We're not going to have any more forage to pick up until the new year, because we can bale hay if we need to around the house, but even then I'm not sure that we'll cut any. So we can return forage wagon. The stump grinder, there's a chance we need to do some forestry through the winter, so depending on if we have enough money when we sell up to buy some things, so buy some fields, so we might hang on to the stump grinder. We need the skid steer down at, well, in a variety of places, and it's not super expensive. The plow we have finished with, so we can return that. And as useful as the Kubota is, we're not going to have much use for it. And it's more expensive to run now than the class that we've got. We do need another medium tractor. The electric's not going to replace that, but I think it'd be worthwhile just stopping the cash burn. So we might get rid of that. And that. And depending on what plays out with the trailer, we might be able to return both of these trailers potentially. Although that Farm Tech one is quite useful and we will need it to sell the crop. So what am I doing? I want to escape out of there. So that's probably going to reduce our nightly operating costs a little bit, which is good. Seeding is progressing nicely. Let's get back over here. What would be a good idea to do is, I didn't quite catch that electric in time, but is drop that hay, drop the silage back in the pit and grab a little bit of hay just to top up the two pastures. The milk cows have got plenty of TMR for the moment. But a load of hay. And that's the one thing in its favour for this little trailer, is it's pretty convenient for moving hay around. Fill you up. Put some in this pasture over here, which is only small and doesn't take very much. And you can see this little electric will be perfect for this sort of job. And the other thing we're going to need to do, of course, is put in a charging station and have a think about where we want to put that. Yeah, so there you go. That didn't take much at all. I would imagine that's now full. Food. It is not full. Did it get caught on the fence? Must be getting caught on the fence. There must be a strange collision on the back of this trailer. What happens? Worked better that time. Must be the elevation of the box moves it out of the trigger. But there we go. We got it sorted. And we can take the rest over to the other one. Well, they've come to meet us. They knew we were coming. Saw the blue truck through the trees. And this one won't fill it up, but it'll have taken it comfortably into the green, I would imagine. Yes. And they've got plenty of water, so that's all good. Might just leave the trailer there and do something that we should have done at the shop, and that's get the maintenance on this electric taken care of. Rigid track 571, that's fine. Pop you in there for now. That's our second tank of seed done, so this next one should go pretty close to finishing the barley, which is good. We've had to go and rescue the plowman a couple of times, gets himself into positions with the odd tree at the end, but You can see by the indicator we're up over halfway on that contract, so that'll finish comfortably next time. And we should finish certainly all this seeding before it gets dark, which is terrific. Let's open the lid. See if we can get the right spot there. I'm quite pleased with where we've put this factory. Seems to be working just the way we need it. So we're just losing the light, so we might call an end to proceedings here, but we will set off, and Kevin will just finish that putting grass in the fields at the back. Oops. Because then the seeding is all done and we can concentrate on fertilizing when it's all germinated. But with the sun fading fast, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. We've got a lot of things done today, and picked up a nice electric tractor which will be come in very handy. So just take a shortcut across the edge of our seeded crop here. But until next time, stay safe and have fun. We'll catch you later. See ya.